Wait, different shirt? Wait, you're a woman? What the fuck? I'm leaving. What brand is that? What, the
Denims
stain?
is streaming.
Honestly, I've just been using the stain to get rid of it. I like this one more. A friend recommended it to me. It's the Rom and Dewy Full Water Tint. ROM. And just the and symbol. And this one I love. But I already use this one all the time. This one is just like, it's just the right shade all the time. And it's like made to be applied without looking in a mirror, which is really cool. I love this one. It's one of those like
Denims
Korean products, so it's dope. But I ran out of it and the shipping takes forever on this thing. So I went to the Sephora. I was like, can I get like some lip stain or something? And they suggested this one, which has been okay. It's been okay. It's not terrible. It's not great, but anywho, lip tariffs? I actually don't know. I just forgot to order it, I think. Your eyes are always so good. How'd you learn to do it? Oh, thanks. I've honestly just been doing my eyeliner for like a decade. When I started, I used to put like tape, but my hands are like, they're not shaky, but they're not like surgeon hands. So I like, when I do my eyeliner, I rest my, I don't know if this is something that might be helpful for other people. I don't even know when I learned it or how I learned it, but I rest my elbow on like the table. So there's less movement. And at one point when I was starting to get better at it, I would like actually hold my hand with my other hand to try and stabilize it even more. So if that's something, if you're like, your hand's really shaky and you struggle with that, highly recommend. Highly recommend. Same thing for painters. Oh, I don't know about that. Why didn't I ever think of resting my elbow? Well, the only problem is that it's a huge crutch because when I'm in hotels and there's nowhere for me to rest my elbow, my eyeliner looks so much worse. It takes me like 3 times as long to do it. If there's no like table in the hotel or there's nothing I can like sort of rest my elbow on. So that's all you need to know. All you need to know is that you have to travel with a mirror that you can take with you places because then you're fucked. And then I like this one. This was recommended by a friend. This is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof. What does it say? Skinny waterproof liquid eyeliner. Ultra black. And it's just like really thin. So you can be a lot more precise with it. What I will say about these that's really weird, I've never experienced it with any other eyeliner. The tip dries really fast. And I used to think like, wow, they just don't put that much ink in these because these are really cheap. These are like $6. And I was like, they were recommended by multiple friends and they're like, it's the best eyeliner out there. I was like, what the hell? Why do they dry out so fast? I guess it's just they don't put that much product in them. That's why they sell them for so cheap. And then one day I was like, I didn't have any spare. And so I grabbed like a makeup wipe and I just like wiped the tip of the makeup of the pen. I was like, what if maybe it's like a bunch of dried stuff on the outside and that's why it's not coming out. And so I like cleaned it as best as I could. And then it was like working again. So these last way longer than you think that they do. If you feel them drying out, you just have to, I don't know if something else will work. Some people are saying isopropyl will also work. But I was just using a makeup wipe and then that was fixing it. So some jerk named Willie Mack made a video about iDubbbz and mentioned you. And it was extreme defamation. Oh, I think my problem is that I just like don't give a fuck about Willie Mack. Because I just don't respect him at all. And I feel like there's nothing there. He just like feels like very lowest common denominator content creator. Because like I've said it before, guys, I'm very entertained by the mold roller coaster. Like Asmongold will just say the craziest shit known to man. That's like definitely wrong. But you can watch it and be like, what the fuck? Same thing with like Ethan Klein. Like Ethan Klein's just like, he's totally fine being the most insane person on the internet. He's like, I'll fucking do it. Hell yeah, why not? Klein, I'm value-tained. With Asmongold, I'm value-tained. Willie Mack is just like boring. He's just so boring. Let's go. Didn't mean to have this on the screen, but that's fine. All right. Works out great. I guess I ended last stream on a chatter's messages. So it was immediately like, did you want to show people Chatter's messages? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You got me. Lots of people get married who shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, that's why I don't understand like the very weird conservative push to be like, get married quickly before all your eggs dry up. Quickly, you have to get married. It's like, hmm, shouldn't people like not do that? Like, I feel like maybe you shouldn't do that. As an idea, maybe you should experience a little bit of the world and figure out who you are as a person. Maybe date one or two people to see what matters to you in a relationship. Because let's just be real for just 2 seconds. I feel like everyone in their teenage years had a very, maybe I'm just speaking for myself. I don't know. This was my outlook, and I felt like a lot of other people had this outlook. So you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like when you're a teenager, your understanding of what you want out of a relationship is very shallow. It's like, I want someone who is nice and I think is attractive and is fun to hang out with. But that's it. That's all. That's like the vast. I feel like that was the vast majority of people I knew. And that was just like, that's it. And then you grow up and you're like, actually, wait, there are a couple things I can't stand. Now that I've experienced it, actually, I hate these things and I cannot deal with these things. What's with the recent Anthony Weiner stuff? Yes, that Anthony Weiner, the one and only Anthony Weiner, the New York rep, but okay.
Congress in 2011 over a sexting scandal. 2 years later, you stepped down from the mayoral race after sexting again under the alias
Let me get my water, sorry.
Carlos Danger. And then in 2016, you sent lewd texts to a minor and served 15 months in prison, in addition to becoming a registered sex offender. So with all that said, why do you think...
Can you imagine? Your name is Anthony Weiner, and you're like, well, I need an alias. Anthony Weiner isn't good enough for sexting. Let's go with Carlos Danger.
Or why should New Yorkers give you a chance at a political comeback?
Well, let me just say this. I mean, all of that happened.
Wouldn't it be funny if he said, well, Trump?
And I accept responsibility for it. You won't hear me do what some other people in public life have done, Donald Trump or Andrew Cuomo or Eric Adams. I'm a victim. They persecuted me for no reason. I was dealing with very serious problems. I was dealing with what I now understand to be addiction. I lost my brother Seth to addiction.
Okay, he actually said it. He was like, okay, well, Donald Trump is holding office, but unlike him, I accept that I am a registered sex offender or was a registered sex offender. I don't know if he's got his record. I don't think the word is expunged, but
and
he's pulling the Dr. Disrespect. Okay, so maybe I spoke inappropriately with minors, but I'm owning up to it like a real man.
I accept it. I didn't ask for a trial. I pled guilty, served my time in prison, served in a halfway house, served probation, went to try to do good work for the formerly incarcerated. And I guess what I'm saying to people is maybe don't vote for me in spite of what they know about me, but maybe consider that journey that I
vote for me because I'm a convicted sex criminal.
idea that we all go through things and we come out the other side. And also, what does it mean? You know, I'm Jewish, but they have this notion in Catholicism around you suffer for a reason so you can be of service at the other end. So I'm not asking people, I'm doing the opposite of what a lot of politicians do when they're in my position. Ignore that problem, pretend it didn't happen, blame someone else. I am saying, yes, I did these things. I got into recovery. I try to make my life better. And now if I can be of service, and I'm a damn good politician. I come up with answers.
Yep.
I talk to people directly.
You are.
I don't try to butter over things. I try to be direct. Then why shouldn't I? And if it's just because I have bad things in my past, that's not a good enough reason. I mean, look.
For people who don't know about this story, on May 27, 2011, Weiner used his public Twitter account to send a link to a woman who was following him on social media platform. The link contained a sexually explicit photograph of himself. Yes, Mr. Weiner sent his wiener. After several days of denying he posted the image, Weiner held a press conference at which he admitted he had exchanged messages and photos of an explicit nature with about 6 women over the last 3 years and apologized for his earlier denials. After an explicit photo was leaked, Weiner announced on June 16, 2011, he would resign from Congress, and he did so formally on June 21st. A second scandal, a second sexting scandal has hit the towers on July 23rd. Like literally, he got kicked out. He resigned from Congress. 2 days later, he's like, well, let's get right back to it. Well, if I'm not going to hold office anyways, let me do what I've always wanted to do. Which was several months after Weiner returned to politics in the New York City mayoral race. Weiner sent explicit photos under an alias to a 22-year-old woman with whom he had contact as late as April 2013, which was more than a year after he left Congress. The woman was later identified as Sydney Leathers. Okay, my misremembering. Sorry. He was up to no good for a very long period of time. Then he resigned and said, well, it's been enough years. It's been 2 years. Surely nothing else will come out. I've changed. No, I haven't. Anyways. Okay. And then this one I remember, nobody really cared that much about these. They cared a little bit, but nobody really cared about those. It was this one that people cared a lot about, reasonably so. In September 2016, claims were published that Weiner had engaged in sexting with a 15-year-old girl from North Carolina. And devices owned by Weiner were seized as part of an investigation. Emails that were pertinent to the Hillary Clinton email controversy were discovered on the laptop. This prompted FBI Director James Comey to reopen the investigation 11 days before the 2016 presidential election. Hillary Clinton said Comey's decision was one of the reasons she lost the election to Donald Trump. All right. He served his 21-month sentence on November 6, 2017. He reported to Federal Medical Center Denims in Massachusetts to begin his 21-month sentence. After getting about 3 months deducted from his sentence for good behavior, Weiner was released from prison, was sent to a halfway house. He was released from a Bronx halfway house on May 14, 2019. He is registered as a sex offender. Okay.
Look, all I can ever be is who I am right now. Yeah. And that brought me to this space.
All I can ever be is a registered sex offender. I like that he describes it as like, what happened to me? As if he wasn't an active participant in like sending his dick to a bunch of people, including a minor. Your Honor, I'm literally neurodivergent and sex addiction runs in my family, okay? I don't know what to tell you. I was a minor when that happened. I was 50, 40. And I was literally neurodivergent, okay? I'm not, Your Honor, I'm literally neurodivergent and I was talking to a minor, okay? That's basically the same thing as being a minor. Wilneff announced this recently, saying that after some great years and unforgettable memories, I will be parting ways with OTK. I am so thankful for my time with them and I wish them nothing but good fortune in all of their future ventures. If there was a time to go, this was the time to go. I mean, Wilneff has always been pretty cautious and been pretty careful with like trying to stay out of controversy. Like he just wants to make fun content online and he doesn't want to get involved in any of the slop, like any of it. What is OTK exactly? OTK is a content org is the best way to describe it. It's a content creator org. And orgs used to be more about like coming together and putting content together. And OTK used to be for a period of time.
Like this is
one of the best content orgs. The reason that I'm pretty sure I could be mistaken. Obviously, I'm not Wilneff. I've never spoken to Wilneff about this. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Please don't take my word for it. But this is an assumption on my part. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if the reason that he had joined OTK at the time was because they were doing so many collabs and he was participating in all of these collabs because he has great stage presence. That at a certain point, it's like, wait, I'm in every single show you guys do. I'm in every single like game night you guys do. I'm part of all of these events. I fly out all the time to Texas. Okay, it makes sense to join, right? Like I think a lot of people were waiting to see the announcement of him joining. Will said last night he's still going to do collabs with its members that he's still friends with. So it's not like he's done talking to people who are part of OTK. Yeah. Oh, wow. They really don't upload on this channel anymore. Maybe it's on a different channel nowadays. Wow, their last major video was introducing OTK Wilnap. Oh, no. But yeah, they used to do a lot of like fun events and they would put together all these, I don't know if you can call them shows, but just like collab things. It's like a content creator house, but although none of them live, maybe not all of them live in the same house together, and they all do collab streams together. They have a shared channel and it's fun to watch all your favorite content creators participate together and do stuff together, right? In the way that like it's fun, it's a fun experience to watch your favorite content creator talk to your other favorite content creator, right? It's like, oh boy, dude, yes, worlds collide, yes. This is so dope. So I think a lot of people enjoyed that content for a period of time. Apparently, like Milena was running this YouTube channel. I don't know if that's just what chat told me. Please don't fucking clip me. I don't know. I can't tell for sure. But yeah, they used to host a lot of videos and stuff, or events and stuff. Did you watch the new BB No Money? Yes. Denims X Moon. I would never do that. Not because he's bald. Well, because he's bald. Chat, if you don't get the joke, it's okay. You're just not a Moon viewer. But because I would never want to bring so much controversy to another content creator. That feels bad. I would not want to do that to someone. Would you ever collab with Caroline? We have collabed in the past. Moon can handle these little shits. You're totally right. He actually could. He could. No, you're right. You're
OTK
right.
is a good idea / concept ruined by being in Asmon's proximity.
Yes, I would agree with that. Well, the other problem with OTK is that they had like 10 scandals in a row, which is not good, and they didn't handle them well. The problem with being like a popular, a really big content creator, getting a lot of fame and a lot of attention, a lot of money really quickly in a short period of time, is that you become a little insane and you develop an insane ego, right? Especially if you have nothing to like reel you back in. So like female content creators in general have had this tempered a little bit by the fact that they are always dealing with some level of misogyny. I'm not talking about myself, for the love of Christ. I'm talking about other women. I'm not talking about myself in this context. So there will always be female content creators who are told that their success is because of other people, right? Which I remember distinctly. I'm pretty sure it was Pokimane, but it might have been somebody else talking about how they would never be in a public relationship with anyone because all of their success would be credited to the person that they're dating. Best example is like Cutie Cinderella, right? Like there are people who only know of her as Ludwig's girlfriend, despite the fact that she was on the come up long before him. And he only exists because of her, right? Cutie made him. But people who don't know about them, they're always going to assume that it's the other way around, right? And so like there are a lot of female content creators who kind of have their valor stolen by that stuff. Don't you mean Cutie's boyfriend? You're right. And it takes a lot to like climb out of that shadow. I mean, a good example of this is like iDubbbz and Anissa. Anissa was a very large streamer on Twitch many moons ago. She was like one of the largest female content creators on Twitch ages ago. I mean, she had like, I would say...
Denim's success accredited to Wormy and Meerkat. Please show our actual streamers.
Sorry, you're right. She was? Okay, I'll look at it later. But anyways, yeah, a lot of female content creators especially on Twitch, they kind of get overshadowed by the male content creators that they're around, which is, it's sad, it sucks, whatever. I forgot why I was bringing that up in the first place. Why did I bring up even content orgs in the first? I mean, obviously because of the Will Neff tweet, but I brought it up for a reason. Now I'm like blanking on it. Oh, streamer ego. Yeah, so like Pokimane, basically the entire time she's been on Twitch, she's gotten harassed. And they always justify, it's like, well, it's because she did this. Well, it's because she did this. Well, it's because she did this. And it's like, it's literally just like the NPC chip meme. It's like, well, cookies. Well, she said she wasn't rich. Well, she DMCA'd this account. Well, it's literally, they just want a reason to dislike her. And that's how it is kind of with all female content creators. Every single female content creator is going to deal with this shit. And so it helps you at least like temper your ego a little bit. I think a lot of the male content creators that really blew up overnight, or it felt like they blew up overnight, became very egotistical and bizarro, for a lack of better words. When you have that much ego, you just assume that you're always right and that there's nothing that you can say that's ever wrong, which is bad, obviously. It's why I've said things that are wrong on my stream and then say, yeah, that was, okay, my bad. That was incorrect. All right, correct the narrative. All right, let's go. And I've always said since day one, the stuff that happened with like Crazy Slick, that was, I think, like the first controversy that I can remember with OTK. The problem there wasn't that, like, in my opinion, I think a lot of people saw that situation and thought this is a situation where people aren't going through the right steps to make sure that, one, everyone in the content org is okay and safe and fine, but also, two, the women are safe and fine. And that's one of those situations where the owners of the org need to step away and say, we're not going to talk to any of these people. We're not going to engage with any of these people. We're not going to make these decisions. We're hiring an investigation team. We're hiring a firm to investigate all this stuff. We're going to treat it very seriously. They're going to speak to everyone. They're going to give us their unbiased opinions. We are stepping away from this situation and bringing in a qualified team that doesn't have any biases. But that's the problem when you're very ego driven. You just assume, like, well, I can handle it. I can deal with it. This is the pirate softwareification of your brain. Pirate Software saw his image being tarnished because everyone was saying that he was roaching out. And instead of taking a step back and realizing, wait, how bad is it that people are calling me a roach and typing managem? Like, on a scale of 1 to people posting a photo of, like, any of the content creators that have done blackface for some bizarre reason, like, how bad is this? Like, on a level of, like, 1 to Ethan Klein saying what he said about the Boston bomber, like, how bad am I here? Like, how fucked am I? And it's like, actually, this is totally fine. Like, this is a very manageable PR situation. Actually, wait, people typing managem is funny. That is funny, actually. This is a great thing. I'm very lucky. I would get canceled for something so silly, right? I should just run with it, have fun, like, kill off my character, and then it's like easy content with all these people for super long, and apologize and just, like, move on, right? And he didn't do that because he was like, well, I'm smart enough to handle this situation. I'll just keep doubling down. And it's like, it doesn't even matter at some point if you roached out or not. What matters is that you don't care about validating the feelings of any of the people around you. Like, all those people felt like you let them down and you didn't give them anything. You just said, well, too bad you suck. Which doesn't feel good ever. So then a bunch of people did all the instant replays and they saw that he did roach. And then a bunch of people, and he quadrupled down and they're like, look at him doing it here. Look at him doing it here. Look at him doing it here. And it's like, oh God, dude, stop. Stop. Oh, Jesus. What's roaching? Well, they were playing hardcore, which means when you die in the game, you die in real life. No. You have to start all over from level 1. And he just, like, ran away like a roach. You know, when you turn the lights on and the roaches all scatter? He ran away like a roach when he felt like they weren't going to beat the raid or the boss or the dungeon. I don't know what I don't remember if they were doing a dungeon or a raid. I think it was just a dungeon. I think it was just a difficult dungeon. And then everybody else, well, not everybody else, but a couple other people lost their, like, level 60 characters, I think. Which feels bad because that's, like, months. And then he blames everybody else. It's like, and then everybody looked at his gameplay because he's, like, being a douchebag about it. And he's, like, using all his abilities wrong. And he's definitely roaching out. Which isn't good. What could I do? I was out of mana. And it's like he's using, like, max mana spells. I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember. Blizzard? I don't know. All I know about WoW and mages is playing Jaina and HOTS. So, max level Blizzard. I have no mana. It's like, maybe because you're using your kit wrong? I don't know. But anyways, the point of no return was when he started posting Light Yagami bordering on threats on Twitter, where he was typing essays and you could play the Death Note music and it's like, all of you that are saying all of these things, I will remember. Know that when the clout fades and the dust settles, I will remember who you people are. And it's like, dude, you're posting cringe on me. You have to stop. Stop! Ah! And then he got kicked from the guild. And he's like, I actually don't even want to play WoW anyways. It's like, oh my God. I could rehabilitate his image. I could do it, chat. I could do it in a month. But he doesn't want the help because in his brain, he's the smartest person he knows and he can do everything himself. Moving on, OTK, basically sort of the same situation. In my opinion, from looking from the outside, I don't know these people personally. I don't know all these people personally. Looking from the outside, it's like, this is a situation where you should know that it's a bad idea for you to get personally involved. And I understand that the people that were getting involved, they were just trying to do their best with the situation at hand. And like people like Mizkif were like trying to help their buddies, which is not the play there, because it comes off to everybody else like you're defending a sex predator. And here's the thing, you can still talk to your friend if you think that they're being wrongfully accused. You can talk to them and be there for them and be like, hey, like, we'll do the investigation. If you're innocent, you're good to go. And if you're not, But that wasn't what was happening, right? That's not what was happening. What happened is they got personally involved instead of just hiring a team to investigate, which is the correct thing to do. And then they had the Rich Campbell situation where Rich Campbell was accused of sexual assault and abuse. Thankfully, at least they booted him really fast. And then they had the Tectone stuff where his ex-girlfriend came out and talked about sexual abuse that she experienced. And it's like at a certain point, you like take a look at the org and you're like, what's happening here? What's going on? What's going on? If you ever catch yourself Sephiroth posting, you got to take a step back. Yeah. And then there's like now all the Asmongold stuff where like Asmongold just insists on saying the craziest shit he can say online, which isn't great for the org because it drives away people like this. Now, I'm not saying that Will Neff, I'm not putting any words in Will Neff's mouth. I haven't spoken to Will Neff about this. I don't know why he made this decision. I am making an assumption based on what I would do in that situation. And personally, what I would do in that situation would be to leave because that sounds like a giant liability waiting to happen. It sounds like you're waiting for something to blow up in your face, which isn't good, which is not good.
The adult way of responding to this.
Oh yeah, I think this was I think these were Will Neff's comments at the same time that Cinna was making these comments about Asmongold.
And if we can't make it a better place, if we can't make it a happier, healthier place, then I'll have to reevaluate where I stand.
Respect.
But that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, he's being diplomatic.
I'm not trying to farm this. I don't even want to fucking talk about it. I don't.
Right. Like this is...
Yeah, I mean, that's a adult response. Asmongold owns you. Asmongold owns you. Ha ha ha. He can never own me as hard as he owns himself, okay? You support terrorist. Just one terrorist. I only support one. Just the one terrorist. Not terrorists. Not terror organizations. Just the one terrorist. Excuse you, okay? We do not support the state of Israel and their behaviors towards, the Gazan population, the people in the West Bank, the Lebanese. Why are you so mad? Do you think if you, like, keep screaming that the sky is, like, green, people will start believing you? Open the schools. Open the schools, please. Please. So, yeah, Will Neff has now departed from OTK. Right off the back, by the way, off of the BB No Money censoring Asmongold. The back-to-back is crazy. Whew. Or around the same time of this happening. Wonder who's going to jump ship next? I don't think anyone else is going to jump ship.
In this circumstance, they still
stop. Not yet, Asmongold. Not yet. Okay? Hold up. We have to farm all the chatters that are going to come in here and be like, you don't talk about anything but Ethan and he made you. First, before we can farm the other NPCs, they're like, you don't talk about anything but Asmongold and he made you. Okay, one at a time. One group of haters at a time. There was a clip of Will Neff talking about it. I saw it on Ethan Klein's story, which is why I know that it happened, but there was a clip on Ethan Klein's story about how Will Neff is talking about how the Creator Clash 3 is going to be delayed. Finally, I found it. Jesus. Took forever.
I suppose it's out there in the ether, but Creator Clash is delayed.
Which, by the way, what a nice background. What a great background. The team that put together his background did a great job. It looks so good.
Clash is delayed to a date far in the future. For me, this is a huge bummer, not only because I was bringing out a bunch of my family, but I was losing weight at a lightning clip. I was losing weight at a fucking lightning clip. And I got down as low as 100.
100. He got to 100 pounds, if you can believe it. I know, really crazy. 100 pounds. Oh, God.
Also, hey, speaking of IRL and meeting, I do need to let you guys know.
This is another boxer that is participating in Creator Clash that I believe she participated in Creator Clash 2. I don't know if she participated in 1, but I know she participated in 2.
The official announcement has not been made. However, I believe Will Neff has announced it, and maybe possibly some other people. Creator Clash is being postponed and will not, I believe, none of this is set in stone. I don't know anything. I just box. I do know. They are being very transparent with us, but they are, I don't know what I want to say, because what if I say something and then they say something different? You know what I mean? But Creator Clash is being postponed. It's not going to happen in June. It's not.
Translation. They've been transparent with us, and they've told us how they think they're going to proceed, that there's a couple of options that they're going to proceed with, that they're probably going to postpone it unless something significant changes. No, not even NDAs. I mean, from my very brief insider knowledge, I don't even think that there are any NDAs. I don't think that I think the entire reason that all of this shit has been blowing up the way that it has is because there are not enough NDAs. I don't even know if there are any NDAs with any of the fighters. It's, hey, having seen a little bit of the back end, the organizers talking to the boxer saying, we're probably going to push it back. We don't know when we're going to push it back. We're still thinking about it. We're still seeing what we're going to do. We just want you guys to know that it's not going to be happening in June anymore. We'll let you know. We'll confirm for sure. Unless something changes, this is probably going to happen. So, yeah. She just wants to make sure that she doesn't give contradictory information in case later they're like, okay, change of plans. We're doing this. We are actually going to go with plan B, not plan A.
Not going to happen in Tampa.
Wonderful. I love it.
Licious.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. Thank you for the 29 months, Licious. Good to see you. You're just in time for this very important announcement. So yeah, Creator Clash postponed, will not be in Tampa, will not be in June. However, you know who is going to be in Tampa in June? Me. I'm going to be in Tampa in June. That's right. I am still going to be there. June 28th, the weekend of June 28th, myself and all of the mods are going to be in Tampa. We will.
Very cool of her, by the way. Because I know a lot of the boxers and a lot of the fighters, obviously encourage their audience to come and watch the fight up close and personal and have some fun. And since she almost certainly told her audience, yeah, I'm going to be in Tampa. I'm going to be in Tampa. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Get tickets if you want to see me in Tampa. And then it sounds like, from my understanding, it's going to be moved to LA. And it is going to be in October. Those are not real fights, are they? They absolutely are real fights. I mean, when you see the end of this, you'll realize that they absolutely are real fights. If you've seen any videos from any of these content creators that have talked about training for Creator Clash, they talk about how training for Creator Clash has been so time consuming that a lot of them either have to stop making a lot of content, or the only reason they were able to keep putting content out is because they had an excellent team. I know Jarvis Johnson, when he participated in Creator Clash, he said that the only reason that he was able to maintain uploads at all was because he had an amazing team that was helping him. And a lot of other content creators who did content at the time that they were training for Creator Clash, they started streaming a lot less. They started putting out videos a lot less, just because it eats into your schedule so much. Like, some of these people, I'm pretty sure, are training like 4 or 5 times a week for hours every day, or hours every time they train. So yes. And let me pull this up. They put out a video recently. There's an announcement on the Creator Clash YouTube channel. For anyone who was curious, that person who just spoke, that's Jaileray. She participated in, friend of the channel, she participated in Creator Clash 2, and she will be participating in Creator Clash 3. But, okay.
Nobody brought boxing gloves?
You know her? Well, we are mutuals. Yes, actually, as a matter of fact. Yeah, actually.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ethan Nestor. I fought in Creator Clash 2, and I won. And I'm here with my pals to talk about Creator Clash 3.
Yes, hi, I'm Alana. I also fought in Creator Clash 2 and won.
by a single point still counts.
And I'm Aaron. I fought and lost, and then fought and won in Creator Clash.
It was like a Rocky 2 moment.
Yeah.
You lost in Rocky 1, but you won.
Yeah, 2 was a big comeback for me, so I appreciate that. And I'm also the co-founder and co-owner of Real Good Touring, who has been the production partner for Creator Clash since the very beginning. There's a lot of things that we want to talk about, but first and foremost, we want to announce that Creator Clash 3 is moving dates and locations. October 25th, 2025 is the new date for Creator Clash, and now it is taking place at the Hollywood Palladium here in Los Angeles, California.
Boxing, finally, something I could speak about with some authority. I think letting undertrained streamers duke it out for 3 rounds is a very bad idea, even with headgear and the larger 16-ounce boxing gloves. All my knowledge about boxing is from the people who put together Creator Clash and their understanding of boxing. My understanding was that one of the big problems with headgear is that it might prevent more face injuries, but it's more likely to give you a concussion, and it's more likely to cause brain damage because your head is like bobbling around in there. So in a lot of ways, the headgear is actually, with boxing, it's actually worse. I think when it comes to like MMA, headgear might be better. But that was just my understanding. The other thing is they're all being professionally trained. They're not just putting random content creators in there and they're being like, okay, go ahead, have fun. All of these boxers have trained for at least 8 months, and now they're going to train for another, how many months till October? June, July, August, September, October, another at least 4 to 5 months. So they've been training, they'll have been training for a full year, which at that point, I mean, I feel weird calling that undertrained. Having spent a year training, dedicating like 20 hours a week to boxing practice. Trained by professional boxers, just no, they're trained by coaches. I don't know who's telling them that it's safe, but it's insane. They actually have never said that it's safe. They're very explicit. Anissa has talked about it many, many times. She's reposted that really traumatic video of that. I think he's a boxer who he got hit in the back of his head and he suffered like serious brain damage from it. And he is very disabled now because of it. So they're very clear about telling their fighters, like, this is a dangerous sport. This is a hands-on sport where you are hitting someone else and they are hitting you. We will have like ambulances on hand, like we'll have medical professionals on hand. This is all being sanctioned by the state, the boxing committee and everything. But that just so you guys know, this is a dangerous sport. Like, she's literally tweeted that video out. Which, by the way, I see that video and I'm like, you don't think I want to box? So there's never been a point where I've ever seen either Anissa or Ian talk about how safe boxing is. I've never seen them say anything like that. A big reason why I know that they initially, because they don't want to have a boxing event. They want to have a real boxing event. They don't want to have an amateur boxing event. And this was kind of a criticism that happened from chess boxing from Ludwig. Ludwig didn't get the chess boxing event sanctioned by a boxing committee, which is kind of bad. And that's like amateur boxing, right? Like that's like, maybe it might be even below that. But this is like, they have coaches that have been coaching for decades. And these people can also choose their own coaches. I think that they can provide them with coaches or they can choose their own coaches. And the Creator Clash team will pay for the bills to have these people get trained by these coaches for 8 months to now a year. It's sanctioned by the boxing committee. There's medical staff on hand. They're constantly running like blood work for all the fighters, doing weigh-ins, everything like that. So everything that I've checked on has been pretty well. It feels like they care about the regulations and they care about the safety of the boxers. And yeah, and they're pretty clear about, like, again, the event being dangerous. That it's like any physical violent sport. It's still a sport and it's still really cool, but it's still dangerous. Like, getting hit in the face or in the head it's dangerous.
So yes, Ian and Anissa have stepped down completely. There's no creative involvement. There's no financial involvement. There's no ownership involvement. They completely.
Have you checked for any problematic age gaps between the fighters? I'm concerned. There was only one problematic age gap between the fighters, and that was Dad is like 40 and he fought AB. And it's like, damn, AB is like 27, I don't know his age. There was a problematic age gap, and it was that the old man was beating the shit out of the youngin'. Like if Amaranth, if it was like Amaranth was challenging me, I'd be like, oh fuck, dude, I can't back out from that fight. Shit. All right, fine, I'll start training. Yeah, let's go. Come on. But I would never want to fight someone that I like. Like, this makes me so sad. The reason that the event ended up not raising money for charity was because when they scaled up the event, because people loved Creator Clash 1. Creator Clash 1 raised over $1 million. And when they were scaling the event up, they were told, we can do this bigger arena, which ended up working out great because people did show up, but they didn't sell as many tickets as they thought that they were going to sell, as many PPV tickets, because they were going off of the year before that. They were going based off of Creator Clash 1 numbers. And I think Creator Clash 1, they sold like 10,000 tickets in person, and then they had like 100,000 or 150,000 people watching online. And so for the second one, everyone was so hyped from Creator Clash 1, but people also prepared for Creator Clash 2, and over 1 million people pirated the event. And only, I think, like, again, another 100,000 people bought the PPV. And so the event was, by all tangible numbers, it was a very fun, successful stream. It just failed to raise the money that they needed to raise because they didn't anticipate that much pirating to happen, because it didn't happen the year before. Like it literally didn't happen. And because people didn't know about it. So when Creator Clash 2 rolled around, people knew about it. They were ready to pirate it. Because the event, and when I talk about success, I talk about whether or not the event itself was fun to be at, whether or not the event itself was fun to watch. And apparently 1 million people who pirated it wanted to watch it. It was a very popular, very well-planned event. They just didn't anticipate that so many people would pirate it, and so few people would pay for the PPV. The marketing for Creator Clash 2 was non-existent. No, it was there. I would say that it wasn't enough, but it was there.
Candid with you about this, Aaron, about like how disappointed I was and how like burnt I felt by it. And I was talking to a separate fighter who's not in the room about this just yesterday. It was like, you work so hard. I had a family member who was in the hospital with cancer at the time, and the thing that like kept me going, that stopped me from quitting and just going to be with them, was I was like, this is for charity. You're raising money for charity. You're raising money for a good cause. You got to keep going. And it was so hard. And then when I found out that we didn't, I think I cried. Like, I was so disappointed.
Hi, Denims. You suck. Guys, warm glass of battery acid doesn't like me. How will I ever recover? Is it over for me?
Naively, we believed that with the first Creator Clash, that the success of the event would be shared with the charity. So funding it through various sponsorships, but mostly ticket sales and pay-per-view sales, pay for the event, and then everything else is gravy for charity, which luckily worked for that year. We raised $1.3 million for charity. It was great. With that thinking, we moved on to Creator Clash 2, scaled it up a bit, and it turned out that we weren't able to make that money back and to reach those goals.
Couldn't people pirate the first one too? No shot. Every event knows countless people are pirating. I mean, hey man, like, hindsight is 2020. You plan an event perfectly and tell me how it goes. All right. You tell me you can manage content creators, which already on its own is like the biggest headache on the fucking planet. And then manage booking everything, manage getting blood work done, manage making sure that these people get their vision tested, making sure that people are making the socials posts that they're supposed to be making sure that the event is doing well, that seats are being sold, that there is enough traction happening, that the audio team is doing a good job, that the video team is doing a good job, that the live stream won't get broken up in any way, shape, or form, that there's no problem with the studio that you're booking in or like the arena that you're gonna, like, it's a lot of shit. The idea that like, well, okay, you did everything else perfectly, but you fucked up on this. What are you, stupid? It's like, whoa. I understand that you didn't say that they're stupid, okay? I'm saying that they did, I think, what any reasonable person would have done, which is, okay, let's look at how many people pirated Creator Clash 1 and let's extrapolate that to Creator Clash 2. If this percentage of people pirated it on the first one, we'll probably get about the same level of piracy. Which is, by the way, like how most businesses operate anyways. You take historical data and you try and extrapolate future data based on the historical data. And they were like, oh, I think that like 100,000 people bought PPV tickets and 100,000 people pirated it. So they were like, okay, well, at this rate, we're probably good. We probably aren't having a pirating issue. We'll probably be able to sell these PPV tickets. And then 1 million people pirated it the second time around. And they were like, sorry, we didn't participate. 1,000% more piracy. I agree it was probably worse the second time around, but I don't think that's the main issue. I mean, as someone who's talked to the organizers, I will tell you it's the main issue. It was the primary issue. I'm telling you this from the person who's spoken to the organizers and has told me explicitly, as well as many other people explicitly, that that was the main issue. Explicitly, that was the main issue. There are smaller parts that contributed to it. So, for example, the website that they had wasn't very organized, and people didn't know when the date was. People didn't know where they could watch it. They didn't even know that it was a charity event. That Creator Clash 1 and 2, other than paying for the costs of running the event, everything else went to charity. Real fighters do this and don't get paid. I mean, I'm not part of a poverty cult. I think if you dedicate a lot of your time and energy into something that's for a good cause, I think you should get reimbursed for it. I don't believe in a poverty cult where it's like, you should work hard for free always. Like, what the hell? It's kind of giving like petty tyrant. And also like good luck signing people up for that. Good luck finding creators that are willing to dedicate like 30 hours a week for a year to get beat up with no return, with like nothing. Ethan has been trying to make this event fail as hard as he can, for as long as he can, for the past, since Froggy Tonic started tweeting about him. This is one event that I will say every single boxer that has talked about the event has talked about how much the organizers care about their safety and how they've been very clear with them. And they haven't pretended like it's a fun, cool little sport. They're like, hey, there are serious complications. This is something serious that you have to dedicate yourself to. And, you know, you need to know all of this stuff before, like you have to have informed consent to participate. And you need to understand that there are risks that go along with this. And you're choosing to do it regardless or like despite the risks. So they've been like very responsible, I feel like, with their creators. They've been so responsible that even when Ethan tries to bring on guests to shit on the event, the guests are like talking about how great the organizing of the event was. Here's Harley, who has every reason, has every incentive to shit as hard as he wants on Creator Clash. And here he is saying exactly what I'm saying to the point where Ethan gets mad about it.
5% ain't nobody upset.
5% means everything. But they were doing, she was doing a job, you know, she was doing a job for a bit there. I don't know if it equals up to 34%. Yeah, but she was doing.
What was her job? Tanking the event? I mean, what exactly would you say she does around here?
I feel like she did that more with, it seemed like she did it more with the other ones, like where she was more in touch with the fighters from what I heard. And with Creator Clash 3, I didn't really get the sense that that was happening.
She was very involved in checking in on all of us and making sure we were where we were supposed to be.
Yeah, and was that good? Was that helpful? Was that good?
Unfortunately for the vibe, she was pretty good at that job.
Unfortunately, she actually was very good at that job. TLDR, as you guys might know, content creators that are really large usually have to deal with, even when you have security, some level of swarming, especially if you have a very parasocial audience. And I think Anothy made a relatively correct decision in thinking maybe we should have a hotel near the venue where these people can go. Personally, I think that the only problem with what they did was they should have incentivized every single person who was there to either donate some amount of money to the charity or to the for-profit side or whatever. Or they should have booked these rooms out and then sold them, like almost like subletting the hotel to the people who want to stay there. Because I understand putting like content creators and friends of the content creators and family members of the content creators all in one place so that everyone's there in the same space. And if you need to get in contact with someone immediately, you can do that easily. That makes sense to me.
So flying out Denims?
Let me just say, someone sent me this fucking post. And the message says, by the way, this is not a tick. This is Ethan saying Denims. Hope you all have a good weekend. And I thought this was a prank. I thought this poster was just joking around. Because this is the same thing that happened with my thumbnail about Ethan Klein is like shitting up the internet, that one. Where
this up is anti-Semitic/s.
where he's like, this is ableist. The fact that you're using this thumbnail of me is ableist. And it's like, that was literally just a random clip or a random screen cap. Obviously, I picked the screen cap, but it was a random screen cap of you talking about me. It's not my fault that you get like this vitriolic rage when you talk about me. Like, that's not on me, dog. That's on you. You should learn how to control yourself. Anyways, going back to this.
Denims? Fucking Denims and Frogan flying them out. Can you imagine? Nobody's denied it.
Okay.
Nobody's denied it. I'm pretty sure you flew them out.
I think they have. I think they have.
No,
like,
they didn't.
Like repeatedly.
You show me. I mean, show me where they denied it. I'm obviously will retract if that's the case. But as far as I can tell, and from what I've discerned, is that they paid for them. Just show me.
I think.
You like can't make this shit up, dude. This is like by far the stupidest thing I've heard. No, I did not have my flights paid for. No one I knew had their flights paid for.
Unfortunately for the vibe, she was pretty good at that job. Unfortunately for the vibe that you want right now, she was
What's
good
the
at that.
vibe?
I'm like
He
she
could tell you
wasn't
want to
like-
shit on her, but he's saying
no.
she was pretty good.
Yeah.
at
That's what I'm
managing the
saying.
event.
That's what I'm saying.
Definitely.
Like she was good at that job in the sense that, like I was saying before, I'm not eager to work with YouTubers, and I found working with Anissa to be a pleasure.
What about,
because if I had a question, I'd hit her up, and she was always available. But that's true. That was more Creator Clash 1 and 2.
What about?
Like they try and smear Anissa so hard on like she doesn't care at all. She doesn't do it. All she did was tank the event. It's like the event literally wouldn't exist without her. You know how like Nick's stream is what it is now, and what it used to be is because of Milena? Clash, because of all the time that Ian spent boxing, because of all the time that he spent training for boxing, he couldn't do a lot of the event planning. He didn't have the time to do a lot of the event planning. He just like didn't. Like I don't know what other words to use here. The reason that the event existed to begin with, this is an interesting chatter. Count made March 10, following since March 15. Definitely value tamed. 34% of charity. I mean, like I already explained this, it feels like there are sometimes on Twitch where I feel like I'm explaining things that everybody should know, and I feel like I shouldn't even be explaining it because it seems so obvious, like how a charity event is run. And like all of this stuff is on their website. Like you can go and look at their it's on their website. Like I don't know. Like you don't even have to come to me if you want to just like it's not that much text either. Unless you never read ever in your free time for fun, this is not that much text. What's happening with fundraising and charity? Fundraising efforts will continue and expand in the lead up to the event date. All funds raised so far are secure and unaffected. The Creator Clash 3 broadcast will once again be run as a charity stream with Stand Up to Cancer, remaining our exclusive beneficiary. Funds raised through the Creator Clash Tiltify campaign go directly to charity. All donations and designated fundraising proceeds go to SU2C. While Creator Clash is a traditionally promoted for-profit event, the financial success of the event does not impact the amount raised for charity. This structure, separating charitable fundraising from business operations, is new this year and was put in place after the setbacks and confusion that followed last year's event. It's part of our commitment to rebuild our trust and keep our charitable mission clear, transparent, and protected. A big problem with the year before is that because the event didn't raise any money, they didn't have any extra charity, and when you're mixing charity and fundraising, when you're mixing the charity funds and the operational cost funds, you're not profitable. What the fuck do you do? Like now you have to dedicate all these resources that were supposed to go to charity towards just paying off the venue, paying off these things because you didn't anticipate that 1,000% more people were going to start pirating it as opposed to the year before that, right? Any money that goes to the Tiltify account This is just good business protocol to separate all for-profit money in one pool and all of the charity money in another pool. If you don't want any money to go towards the renting the arena, paying for the purse for the fighters, helping pay for the coaches, helping pay for the labor of all of the people who've worked on getting the live stream working, getting the audio working, all of the people who have had to, and by the way, Anissa and Ian aren't even making any money this year anymore. It was originally allocated, and now they're going to make nothing. Now it's just going to go to the fighters. All the previous events, they did not get any compensation for being available 24/7, for being on call 24/7 for anyone that needed them at any time. And this year, after Ethan himself gave advice for them to get paid for all of the labor that they're putting into this event, they decided to do it. And now, because they're not participating, they're not doing it anymore. They're not taking any profit anymore. So if you don't want any money to go towards the seating and like the running of the event, then I guess you don't have to pay for a PPV. And you don't have to pay for tickets to go there. But if you just want the money to go only to the charity, which, by the way, there will still be overhead on that Tiltify link, on Stand Up to Cancer has overhead, then you can just donate straight to the Tiltify. Like this person. Don't expect your money to go to charity this year if you invest. They've been following for 8 minutes. Like, this is someone who I think is just, why not both, right? Too stupid to understand, and also refusing to understand. Because I know that a lot of people maybe were a little bit confused about everything, especially seeing 34%, they're taking all the money, blah, blah, blah. First of all, they stepped away, so they're not making any money off of it. So they've done 3 years worth of work towards these events, and they made no money. In fact, they lost money. They paid out of pocket probably a shitload of money to even have these events work in the first place. So they've made nothing, and they are going to make nothing. And everything else, the ticket sales are going to go towards helping fund the event and the profit aspect. All of the donations will go to charity. All of the donations and the Tiltify campaign will go to charity. I really wanted to talk about the Creator Clash stuff just to get it out of the way, so that there's no more questions or anything. Again, I'm sure that, like, maybe they won't, maybe they will. I don't know. I feel like it's irrelevant at this point to, like, even talk about it, but I'm sure they might clarify and explain this to everybody else, although I really don't think that there's anything crazy to explain here. Stay hydrated. Tell your homies that you love them. Send them a little smooch. Send them a little kissy emoji. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tremendous opportunity here. Denims on Twitch is the best, believe me. Top of the line. Nobody does it better than Denims. Nobody. And let me tell you, you're going to love it. It's fantastic. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It's going to be huge, huge, I tell you. Subscribe to Denims on Twitch. Won't regret it, folks. Thank you very much appreciated.